If you clicked on this video, I just know that you have not so great self-esteem, and here's how I can help. All you have to do is just pay attention, and I'm sure that you will benefit up to some extent, right? So I have a couple of notes over here, but I'm just gonna glance at them. I swear, like none of this is from ChatGPT. All of this is just by heart because honestly, this is just a testament to my or a script of my whole life. And as cringe or corny as that sounds, the whole point of the video is that it's okay to be cringe. And I can assure you, whatever idea you have or whatever plans you have, they will suck. I know how weird this sounds, but I promise you they're gonna suck. At least at first, right? And that's because you're gonna keep wondering, oh, like why is it so cringe? Why is it so bad? Why do I look like this? Why do I sound so bad? But I can assure you that's completely normal. And if you're feeling cringe, it means that you're doing something right. Now let me explain. Being cringe is nothing to do with the fact that you're feeling bad, but more related to the fact about the people around you. Now I know whatever I just said sounded like you're having a stroke or I'm having a stroke. But the whole point is that I'm making this video with honestly zero prep. I wrote down a couple of notes, but I'm not even glancing at them too much. And the whole point is that when you're starting something like this channel, it's gonna suck, and it's gonna suck until you actually put in the reps. Let's take a very quick example. So when you look at gym, right? When people start going to the gym or when they go to a new school, a new environment, you feel completely awkward. You feel like you're out of your comfort zone. Now, if you've heard the term stepping out of your comfort zone, you know it's a good thing, right? So I can completely assure you that when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, it's not that it's a bad thing or it's awkward. It's just that you're not used to it and your body naturally wants to go back into that little shell of yours, that little turtle shell. And the fact that you're trying to do something that's outside your comfort zone is what gives you character development. And the whole point is that when you're doing something cringe, it's something that people don't generally acknowledge or people find embarrassing. Not because it is embarrassing, but because they're not, confident enough to do that. Another important thing, speaking of confidence, is that when you actually have the confidence, it's not something that comes through just one day, right? You have to actually put in the work, put in the time, put in the effort. And over time, once you're slowly developing that little confidence, like 0.1%, 0.2% day by day, that's when you actually build that confidence. So I hope this actually resonates with you. And obviously we're not done yet. There's quite a little bit more. And like my whole point is that all we do is worry that, oh, I'm not going to do this because it sounds cringe. For example, this YouTube channel, like I hate being on camera. I hate being on camera. I don't let any of my friends take pictures of me and post it online. Probably because I'm a bit insecure of how I look, or I'm insecure of some other thing, something that you wouldn't know at all until I told you. That's how it works. People honestly don't care as much as you think they do. And that's why it's so bad. People are always worried about being judged, and that's what holds them back about doing something they want. For example, as a kid, I always used to watch these YouTube videos and I used to be like, oh, they get so much like attention or popularity or like people find them relevant. And I found that really interesting because why would they start doing that, right? Unless they had a reason. And honestly, I had a couple of YouTube channels before, but I never actually stuck with them. Honestly, because of me worrying that someone who I know finds out, because that happened one time, but that's a story for later. And I think it's that fear of judgment that actually holds you back. And once you actually get through that fear, it doesn't really matter. All you need to understand is that no one really cares and no one needs to care for you to actually start. Because like actually a couple of days ago, I'll actually put it over right here. I actually posted a story, I think a couple of days ago about the same topic. And I got a response saying that, oh, that's so cringe right here. And I just didn't know how to respond to that because if you find like our generation is definitely something interesting because if we try something publicly in our generation and it turns out to be a complete flop, you get judged like horribly. And unless you actually like do something flawless in their eyes, you're gonna get judged. And it doesn't really matter because when you realize that you're comparing yourself to someone who's been doing this for years, maybe multiple years, you realize that you're comparing to the wrong people. All you should be doing is comparing to yourself, obviously. And so, my proposition to you is that you start and you don't give up on something unless you've tried at least 100 times. Now, these attempts can be like 100 horrible attempts. They could be 50 good attempts, 50 bad attempts. But unless you give it 100 tries and it genuinely sucks, that just means that you suck at that and you should probably pivot. So unless you give something 100 tries, don't give up, because people who judge you will end up coming back to you asking you for the exact same reasons. They'll envy you, they'll be jealous of you, they'll say, oh, he got lucky. And that's how people get successful. The same idea that maybe Mark Zuckerberg had, if he was too embarrassed to tell his friends, or if he was too embarrassed to actually try for it, where would we be? And so yeah, that's it for today. And I hope none of my friends see this, because I still am a little bit awkward on camera, but thank you.